What is up everyone? Welcome back to another video on TPL Locs. As promised, this is the episode right after the XXXTentacion episode. Today we are reviewing Scarlord. Marius Lucas Antonio Listhrop, also known as Scarlord or Mazzi Maz, is a British rapper. He's known for his unusual music style, combining elements of trap music and heavy metal, and he used to be a YouTube personality known as Mazzi Maz. Scarlord began his career in music as the lead vocalist for the band Myth City before he debuted as a rapper under his Scarlord name. Let's review his locks. Alright, we are going to start with his journey when he was very young. He looks like he's about 10 years old here. As you can see, he has a nice Jackson 5 style afro. So we can kind of see his hair type here. Not very clearly because the picture is not that great, but this is what his hair looked like when he was a very young boy. And then we jump into his YouTube times. I believe this was right around 2013, 2014. And his hair type here is very interesting because when I was younger, I had a similar curl pattern to his, and that was because I put relaxers in my hair. And I think he did the same thing, because if you look at these strands in the front, these are typical relaxer style, I can't even call them curls, like strands of hair. Many people use a relaxer before they start to straighten their hair. In his case, he maybe used it to kind of make his hair less coarse. I'm not really sure, but this is what he always used to look like on YouTube. I will show you a video quickly in between because it's quite funny. So if we combine that to what he does now, what it looks like now, it is quite funny to me because I used to watch him on YouTube doing these crazy reviews of things, story time, and yeah, the way he acts now and what he stands for now is quite different. So from 2013, we jump to this picture. This is him with Sam Pepper, another YouTuber. They were best friends once upon a time. And you can see that he shaved the sides of his hair, and it also looks like he stopped using a relaxer because this kind of looks like his true curl pattern, although he might have combed out his curls for it to stand up like this. And you can also see that he still has some color in his hair, so he always had these shades of lighter brown or blonde in his hair, and you can still see that here. He was always known as the guy with the white chin, and this is why you can see that he has a little spot under his lip that is not pigmented, and he used to call himself Mazzi Maz, the guy with the white chin. Fun fact. 2016, this is when he came out with the song Girlfriend, and this is from the music video, and you can see that his hair he's still growing it out, he's still shaving the sides, but there are no locks going on yet. Although if we look closely here and there, it might seem like he is a little bit, like he's free-forming a little bit, and if he wouldn't comb out his hair, they would turn into locks, and spoiler alert, that's what he did. In 2017, we can see that he doesn't really have locks yet, but we do see that some strands in his hair are starting to look like they are starting to part and kind of grow together. This is from another music video in 2017, and then a bit later in 2017 we can see that he indeed started his locks. So these look to me like semi-freeform locks, or maybe freeform locks. So what he probably did is just let his hair grow and let it form on its own. Maybe he pulled some hair apart. That is difficult to say, because for some people, when they let their hair do its thing, they get super thick freeform locks, and other people get these a bit smaller, thinner locks. So I'm not sure, but either way, they look amazing, and they are starting to grow because beginning of 2018 we can see that his hair has almost fully formed into locks. They look like thin, very tight locks. he still has those blonde ends of his locks, so I think he re-dyed his hair, because if we go back to this picture, he doesn't have hair dye. Here he does, so he keeps playing with the hair dye. Even though his sides are shaven, it looks like he has a full head of locks, because we can't really see the shaved sides here. This was at the Leeds Music Festival, if I'm not mistaken, and here we can see that his hair grows pretty quickly, because the picture before, this is the beginning of 2018, this must be somewhere halfway through 2018, but his hair is already reaching down to the bottom of his nose, and this is also the style that he's known for. He's very much influenced by metal music, and wearing black and having those chains and kind of the Mad Max industrial look. But it also reminded me of Japanese manga cartoons. He kind of looks like a Japanese manga cartoon, and I think he must be influenced by that as well. Now this is during a performance. Here we can see a more up close look of his locks, and yeah, you can see that he doesn't really retwist, because the parts are not entirely visible. You can't see any scalp, so he's probably free-forming and kind of maybe twisting here and there, pulling apart when he feels like it. And again, he's wearing a mask, and I'm not sure how that works, rapping or singing through a mask, but apparently he makes it happen. This is towards the end of summer in 2018, I believe, and again, his hair just keeps growing. He doesn't really do much else apart from dyeing it back to black, because we can't really see the blonde in his hair anymore. Or maybe he just used a temporary dye, that could be possible as well. Here he's also wearing a ski mask in his hair, which again refers to the Japanese manga style. And then here, his hair seems drastically longer. I'm not sure if this is just because of the mask that it seems like his hair is a bit shorter, but here it is almost down to his chin. And if we look closer here, it kind of looks to me like it's starting to break. So these are quite thin, and they seem to be hanging on by a thread. And maybe that is the reason why he cut his locks, because yes, after this he cut his locks, not completely, he still has them, but he cut them shorter. This picture first, where you can see his hair up close and you can see a clean shaven side. He grew out a beard, he has some facial tattoos, which makes people say that he has XXXTentacion vibes going on, not only with his looks but also his music. So right around this time we saw this on his Snapchat. Apparently he cut his locks, and if you look at the length of his locks right here, this is what it looks like after. If you look at the length of these locks right here, you can really see how long they were, because he cut off a huge chunk, like a good few inches. And then if we look at what he looks like afterwards, he still has short locks going on. So he probably just cut his locks because he wanted to maintain that short lock look, because it looks really cool, those top locks. And he didn't want to grow them out even further. So this is him after he cut his locks, and you can see how loose his locks are at the roots. So they immediately look like locks that haven't been started for a long time, haven't matured very well yet. But I think this look suits him very well. And then another picture from him in 2019. Here you can also see his tattoos. For the people who love the locks and tattoos combination, you should really look him up, because he has a good collection of tattoos as well. Then lastly, here we can see his locks from the top, and there's really not much to say about this. I just wanted to show you what they look like from up top. And yeah, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Please remember to subscribe right down there, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.